well at EAN_sports. Let's jump to a break. Much more to get to as we move through the show today. Coming up next, we'll talk SEC baseball tournament and more as we roll on this Tuesday morning on Southern Sports Now.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
East Alabama Now Local News has been bringing you the best local news coverage for 6 months. And now we're growing.
EAN News will be available to you 5 nights a week with new faces, new content, and coverage that is second to none.
We'll be bringing you the weather that matters to your neighborhood and to you. Rain or shine, you'll be in the know.
Sports always brings communities together, and EAN Sports will have coverage of all of our area events.
East Alabama Now, local news, new faces, same great coverage. Starting 5 days a week, May 1st. EAN Local News, your news on your schedule.
Southern Sports Now on a Tuesday. Glad you're along with us. I'm Chase Robinson as we continue here. Lots to get to today. Coming up later on, Bill Bender from the Sporting News will join us. He's a national college football writer there with the Sporting News, and we'll talk college football with him and much more as we cruise through today. But SEC baseball tournament gets going today, and we've got some great baseball to be played. Alabama and Auburn both in action today, but I want to talk about the number 5 Auburn Tigers as they'll take the field tonight. They've got the last game of the day as they take on the number 12 seed Missouri. Auburn comes into the game. They are number 13 nationally. So this is a nationally ranked Auburn team that is impressive to say the least. The depth is impressive. The amount of pitching that has come through, especially in the second half of the season, is really good and has really helped them get to where they are now. We saw Auburn make a really incredible run a season ago into the College World Series. I think that very well could be on the line again this year. They don't have quite as many heavy hitters as they did a year ago, but they've still got guys who can put the ball in play. But pitching, I think, is the big story for those guys, for the Auburn Tigers. But Butch Thompson has got these guys in a really good spot. And, we had a chance to hear from Butch Thompson, and he talked about just kind of this point of the season is when you need to get kind of that second wind heading into the remainder of the season. So let's listen in here to Coach Butch Thompson talking about his team getting that second wind.
Great preparation today and spirited. That was kind of the spirit was the word today, and started with infield, outfield, just to get guys flying around. So we've worked hard for a long time, like other ball clubs, to be playing for something. It's second wind, whatever you call it, like the runner when you think, man, maybe you can't go anymore, and then it hooks up the second wind. So we're trying to sell that with our ball club heading into arguably the best amateur tournament that exists on the planet. So, yeah, take a little second wind, had great preparation, good spirit from the ball club.
And they do need that second win getting ready for this tournament, probably the best conference tournament in college baseball. In fact, I know it is. The amount of talent, the amount of nationally ranked teams that are in this tournament. And we always see teams make deep runs. Teams go to the College World Series that come out of this tournament. May not win the SEC tournament, but definitely look good in it. Auburn comes in. They've riding an 8-game win streak. They're 33-19-1 on the season, 17-13 in the SEC, and they've worked hard to get to this point. Tommy Vale most likely will be the starter. He's a lefty. He's 5-1 on the year, 3.38 ERA. This is second time that Auburn has been the number 5 seed in the SEC tournament, second straight year. So this is a really good team, and this is the second longest winning streak by any SEC team this season, this 8-game win streak. They're hitting .329, 3.21 ERA, outscoring opponents 77-28 during the last 8 games. They're 12-3 in the second half of SEC play, making the best 15-game stretch since going 12-3 in the final 15 games of the 2010 regular season. So this is a special Auburn team. Last year we didn't really quite grasp that when they made that run, but this year I think, like I said, they don't have as many heavy hitters, but they have more consistency, and they're playing really good baseball at the right time. So let's listen in again to Coach Butch Thompson, this time talking about the SEC and the power of this conference.
We won 17 conference games and we're the 5th seed. That's how good this conference is. You start going players around the field, and that Bryson Ware's good. He's second team? Oh, my gosh. Tommy White's a pretty good ball player. He's knocked in a bunch of runs. And you start going around the field and you do that, and you can see how awesome of a league that you're a part of, that you play in, and how many great players. I go back and reference opening day Major League, opening day rosters with 88 former SEC baseball players. That's where we reside in.
Like he said, they won 17 conference games, and they're seeded 5th in the SEC tournament. That's just kind of how this conference is this year. You got Florida, Arkansas, LSU, and Vanderbilt, the top 4 in that order. Florida definitely is Florida and Arkansas definitely the favorites to win. But I could see a team like Auburn getting themselves in a position to win the SEC. That's how deep and that's how good this Auburn team is. And so they'll get things going today against Missouri. Missouri, just a little background on these guys. They are 30-23 overall, 10-20 in the SEC. The last 3 weekends, they were 5-4. They were 1-14 on the road in SEC play. So this is definitely a winnable game for the Auburn Tigers. Missouri, though, will be battling to keep their season alive, but should be a good one coming up tonight there in Hoover. Alabama also up today in Hoover, as Alabama's got a really tough one to start things off. When you get the 9 seed, like Alabama did, of course, you get the 8-9 game. So you got Kentucky 8, Alabama 9, and they will be doing battle later today. This should be a fantastic game. We were talking with Joe Cox of Saturday Down South yesterday. He really likes this Alabama team, the way they're playing, but it's a tough draw having Kentucky up first. But the depth for Alabama, I think, will be huge for the Tide. And again, like I said with Auburn, I think they could make a run to win the SEC. Alabama can go deep as well. I'm not going to say that this is an Alabama team that can win the SEC, but I'm saying they could win a couple of games. They could see themselves in the semifinals of the tournament. That's just the way this team is playing. They're playing really hot right now. It's been a tough last 3 weeks for these guys. You lose your head coach. You find out he's been involved in a betting scandal, betting against you. And yet they kind of rally around each other, rally around interim head coach Jason Jackson, and they've won the games they had. They beat Vanderbilt in a series. They beat Ole Miss a series. They beat Texas A&M this past weekend. So a lot has happened for this squad, and they are going to be a lot of fun. But the A-Sun Conference Tournament starting as well. We'll talk about that coming up. But Mike Paris, the voice of the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, just talked to him. He's going to join us next as we roll on this Tuesday of Southern Sports Now. Stick around.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rodney Sneed from both CARES and Direct Primary Care. Direct Primary Care is an exciting new model of medical care, growing on both the East and West Coast. It's been recommended by Forbes and the American Academy of Family Physicians and others for individuals or small businesses with or without health insurance. The pure simplicity of a membership model streamlines the burden of medical care. It eliminates 60% of the overhead. That streamlining allows providers time to focus on patients with free, no copay, no deductible, unhurried office visits or telehealth visits with minimal waiting room time. It produces same or next day appointments and access by text or telephone during and after hours. It saves you from leaving work, wasting time and getting exposed in a waiting room, and the convenience and cost with barriers removed helps one avoid letting problems like a sore throat turn into an expensive ER or hospital visit for pneumonia. If you're interested, search the web for CARES Direct Primary Care.
Southern Sports Now. We roll on this Tuesday as we get ready for conference baseball tournament action, and hopefully here in just a few minutes we will be talking with the voice of the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, Mike Paris. He is down in DeLand, Florida, getting ready for the A-Sun tournament, and just kind of a heads up for the A-Sun tournament. Unlike other tournaments, this is seeded, but they have two pools, Pool A and Pool B, and They separate the 8 teams. The 8 of the 14 conference teams that make it into the tournament are in 2 pools. You have pool play, and then you go into to kind of the bracket style. Championship will be on Sunday, and so really interesting how they do this and how they get the games on. But Jacksonville State off today. They will play tomorrow, and they will have Stetson coming up tomorrow. That will be an afternoon game in their first pool play game. Their second pool play game will be against Eastern Kentucky on Thursday, and then they will take on Austin Peay on Friday. They're in the A-Sun tournament. So That is what's happening down in DeLand, Florida. And again, hopefully we'll be joined by Mike Paris in just a minute to talk about it. We are trying to get him connected. Again, he is down in DeLand, Florida with the team getting ready for the ASUN tournament. But excited to hopefully talk to him in just a few minutes. But SEC tournament, ASUN tournament, all these conference tournaments starting. And, of course, Sunday night we'll find out who makes the NCAA tournament and who will get to host regional series. And so this is a very big time for college baseball, an exciting time for college baseball. And we got some really good baseball in the SEC. And definitely we saw 4 of 8 of the World Series teams out of the conference last year. I think we could for sure see several. I'm not sure if we'll see half the field again as SEC teams, but I think we could definitely see a couple of teams from the SEC there in the College World Series. But certainly excited for that coming up. I tell you what, let's grab another break, and hopefully on the other side we can get connected with Mike Paris. Bill Bender will join us at 10:40. So a lot to get to as we roll on this Tuesday of Southern Sports Now. Stick around.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
East Alabama Now Local News has been bringing you the best local news coverage for 6 months. And now we're growing.
EAN News will be available to you 5 nights a week with new faces, new content, and coverage that is second to none.
We'll be bringing you the weather that matters to your neighborhood and to you. Rain or shine, you'll be in the know.
Sports always brings communities together, and EAN Sports will have coverage of all of our area events.
East Alabama Now, local news. New faces, same great coverage. Starting 5 days a week, May 1st. EAN Local News, your news on your schedule.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @EAN_sports
or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
You see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
Southern Sports Now, we roll on this Tuesday. Chase Robinson here. Glad you are along with us. We've been talking college baseball, conference tournament time. The ASUN Conference Tournament begins today. The Gamecocks begin their play tomorrow. And we're going to talk some Jacksonville State baseball now as we welcome on the voice of the Gamecocks, Mike Paris from down in Florida. Mike, you got us. How are you?
Morning. How are you doing?
Glad to have you on with us, Mike. And I know it is it's a fun time of the year. And back there, the ASUN baseball tournament is Jacksonville State. And first of all, I know this tournament's a little different than what we're kind of used to in college baseball. Pool play and then the championship coming up this weekend. Take us through kind of the layout of this tournament. Last year it got me. It confused me a lot. So kind of explain it to us, please.
You are too kind. I'll put it that way, in my opinion, in the way you described it. It's nothing like anybody else does in college baseball. The only league, as far as I know, in the country at any level that does it like this. So Lipscomb won the regular season. So they're the top seed. Seeds 2 through 8 were then determined by RPI. What you did in the regular season did not matter. For instance, we finished 4th in the regular season. Stetson finished ahead of us in 3rd place. Both of us are in Pool B. Pool A is seeds 1 through 4. And all the seeds after the regular season champs, the top seed, seeds 2 through 8 determined by RPI. So you've got Pool A, the top 4 seeds. 3 of those 4 teams advance to the semifinals, which means essentially you win 1 game in pool play, you're going to get to the semifinals. We're in Pool B. That's seeds 5 through 8. You have to win Pool B in order to make it to the semifinals. So 3 teams out of Pool A and just the 1 in Pool B. It's nuts. I don't know why they do it like this. Thinking outside the box is one thing that I've heard in the 2 years we've been in the league, and the box is not even in the house, in my opinion, with with what they're doing here. To me, it diminishes the 30-game schedule we just played. Means absolutely nothing. For instance, Stetson sweeps Liberty. Liberty is in Pool A, and Stetson again was the 4th seed, and now they're should have been the 3rd seed based on regular season. They're the 5th seed going in. So it's a little different. You get 1 day off. You get to choose your day off. Of course, us now being the 7th seed, us and Austin P, we're at the bottom of the list, so we take today because everybody, the top seeds, got their choice. So we have an off day today, essentially. That's why we're not playing. So we'll start play tomorrow afternoon at 1:30, and we'll take on Stetson, who plays later on tonight. So it's different. I voiced my opinion on it. I'm trying to be kind and nice here, so I'll just leave it at that.
You know, I think what we can sum up is we can't wait for July 1st when JSU is in Conference USA.
Preach on. Amen to everything you just said right there.
So talk to us a little bit about this team heading into the tournament, kind of where this Gamecocks team is at right now.
We didn't have a great weekend, obviously. Lost to Lipscomb, who won the league. We had a chance going in. If we had swept them, we could be no worse than co-champs, but it didn't work out. I tell you what killed us over the weekend was we went 3 for 35 in 3 games with runners in scoring position. If we get 6 more hits with runners in scoring positions, entirely different game. We lose 6-1 on Friday night. It was a 3-1 game till the 8th inning. Misplayed a ball, and that led to 3 runs. Had the lead Saturday and lost it. Had the lead Sunday and lost it. So, to me, I would say the bullpen has probably been hadn't had enough pitching. I'll just put it like that. Starters probably as good, if not the best starters before Eli Zielinski was lost due to an injury. Probably the best starters since Jim Case has been the head coach that we've had on the weekends, quite honestly. Zielinski's a true freshman with 6-0, arm injury, and we lost him, midway through the year. And Jake Peppers has pitched pretty good, though, in that spot and the third spot in the weekend rotation. But taking him out of the bullpen weakened it some. So long relief to the back end of the game has really hurt, and I think that's probably been the downfall. Our numbers pitching-wise, not as good as they have been in Jim Case's time as our head coach now. Swinging the bats offensively, we've been very good. Hit over 300 for the year as a team in league play. Hit 350 the better part of the year. So offensively, we've been pretty good. Average right around 10 hits a game, about 6 runs a contest as well. So we're going to have to hit it and score some runs, I think, to be able to advance in the tournament and hopefully get to the semifinals. And obviously the goal to win the tournament and get an automatic bid to an NCAA regional.
Yeah, and it seems like every time I look at the box score, especially at the last several home series, TJ Reeves, Carson Crowe, several of those guys, a lot of long balls out of Rudy Abbott Field. So it looks like the offense really clicking here in the second half of the season.
Well, we've had again probably as good a year, if not the best year offensively since in Jim Case's 22 years as a head coach, leading the league in several offensive categories. We had 6 guys named to between first team all conference, third team all conference, and the all freshman team. We had 6 guys total there. So and the majority of that was guys offensively is what they've done this season.
We're talking with the voice of the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, Mike Parrish, joining us from down in Florida, getting ready for the ASUN baseball tournament. When you look at the conference as a whole, just who, we see the seedings, and of course Jacksonville State just saw the top seed Lipscomb, but you got Liberty, who's always good, Florida Gulf Coast, those guys. What's the conference look like as a whole, and what's kind of the Gamecocks' path, and what kind of teams will they be facing?
Well, we'll get Stetson tomorrow night, then Eastern Kentucky, tomorrow afternoon, and then Eastern Kentucky's Thursday, and here's the question. If we get to Friday and we're 2-0 and everybody else already has a loss and we can win it, do we play the Friday game? That was one thing that came up in last year's tournament. So anyway, we got to go through Stetson, Eastern Kentucky, and then Austin Peay are on our side. Oddly enough, we didn't play any of them. Those were the 3 teams that we didn't play during the regular season in the 10 series that we played. All the other teams in the Pool A, we played those. Jacksonville, Liberty, Lipscomb, and Florida Gulf Coast. So played 2 of them on the road and 2 of them at home. Quite honestly, I don't think there's a whole lot of difference between any of them and us. Florida Gulf Coast can mash it pretty good, probably the best offensive team in the league outside of us. Lipscomb pitches it very well. They've got veteran guys. Liberty has had they've lost some guys, so I really don't know. They were up the first game of the day. They jumped out to a 5-1 lead, and before we did this interview, Lipscomb had overtaken them and claimed the lead at 6-5 in the 4th inning in that one. So JU, we saw them, didn't have a great weekend, but again, close games, and a couple of things go differently there. We probably sweep that series. So we've got to swing the bats pretty good, and we've got to be able to pitch it and avoid giving free bases, whether it's on walks or hit batsmen like that.
Would you say, from what you've seen, the ASUN is a pitching-heavy league or a offensive-heavy league? How would you describe this conference?
Wow, good question. I'd say the bats probably a little more than arms. The problem everybody, I think, has in the league, you've got some quality guys, quality arms in the starting rotation. It's the bullpen, whether it's been long relief or at the back end of the bullpen. I think everybody has suffered a little bit there. And if you talk to coaches and you look around all of the NCAA Division I college baseball, I think the bullpen has been the thing. And I think that's probably the difference in some of the Power 5 schools and the folks and those of us at the mid-major level. They're a little deeper on the pitching staffs than we are. So, if we had probably 2 more arms, we'd be in much better shape than we are right now. Losing Eli Zielinski really, really hurt us, and not having him there and having to move somebody from the bullpen then to the starting rotation.
Good stuff. Mike Paris down in Florida getting ready for the ASUN baseball tournament. Jacksonville State's first game will be tomorrow as they will take on Stetson. Mike, we'll try to get you back on later in the week from the ASUN tournament. Appreciate you for connecting with us this morning and talking some Jacksonville State baseball.
Hey, I appreciate it. Hopefully the connection will be a little better next time, too, on that. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. Mike Paris, he is the voice of the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. You can hear his coverage all across the state on the Gamecock Sports Network from the ASUN baseball tournament. We're going to jump to break here. We'll have another guest coming up as Bill Bender with the sporting news will join us to talk some college football. Stick around. More Southern Sports Now in a moment.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rodney Sneed from both CARES and Direct Primary Care. Direct Primary Care is an exciting new model of medical care growing on both the East and West Coast. It's been recommended by Forbes and the American Academy of Family Physicians and others for individuals or small businesses with or without health insurance. The pure simplicity of a membership model streamlines the burden of medical care. It eliminates 60% of the overhead. That streamlining allows providers time to focus on patients with free, no copay, no deductible, unhurried office visits or telehealth visits with minimal waiting room time. It produces same or next day appointments and access by text or telephone during and after hours. It saves you from leaving work, wasting time and getting exposed in a waiting room, and the convenience and cost with barriers removed helps one avoid letting problems like a sore throat turn into an expensive ER or hospital visit for pneumonia. If you're interested, search the web for CARES Direct Primary Care.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you this segment of Southern Sports Now. Ted's Floors and Beyond has teamed up with Welborn Cabinet. They now offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, and tile showers. They sell all types of flooring, hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, and luxury vinyl. Lifetime warranty on your flooring installation. 0% interest financing for 12 months and free in-home estimates. Locally owned and operated, Ted's Floors and Beyond. Go by and see them. Highway 431 in Anniston, and they will greet you as you come in the door, and they will help you find what you need there, whether it's flooring or the Beyond part now with the kitchen or bath makeover. We appreciate Ted's Carpet and Floor, or that is now Ted's Floors and Beyond, for bringing you this segment of Southern Sports Now. Lots of college football to talk about year-round these days, and we're going to talk some quarterbacks now as we bring on Bill Bender with the sporting news. Bill, always great to talk with you. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
For sure, and you have put out a list of top 25 quarterbacks there on the sporting news. I always find these lists interesting because there's a lot of guys to choose from. Take us through, though, as you start sitting down to make this list. What goes into that?
Well, I mean, you look at a lot of things. There's the last year's stats, the transfer portal, how that impacts everything. I mean, at the top, it was pretty easy when you have the returning college football Heisman Trophy winner win, and that's easy to have Caleb at the top. But, breakout performers, all that kind of thing. There's a methodology to it. We look at stats. We look at how they perform. We look at their NFL potential. And at the end of the day, sometimes you just look at, I'd rather have this guy over this guy.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned you had Caleb Williams from USC, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner at top. Drake May from North Carolina, you put him at in number 2. He had great numbers last year. I think a guy who didn't get a lot of recognition at the beginning of last season. A lot of folks were talking maybe he would transfer out of North Carolina, but he stayed. What stands out to you about Drake May?
Well, the playmaking ability, he's got a skill set that he's got the size, but he runs better than people expect. He makes plays with his legs. He'll not afraid to throw his shoulder down and run into somebody. And, the stats are there with the passing game. The way he reads the field and distributes the ball to those receivers is really, you take all of that into account, and you have a very good player that I think will translate well to the next level, franchise quarterback type. And if you can get North Carolina back to the ACC championship game, those things will probably happen.
Yeah, Michael Penix Jr. from Washington, you have 3. You have Bo Nix at 4, and he also had a great season last year. What do you think changed from his time at Auburn to last year at Oregon? And honestly, he played much better up at Oregon last year.
Bo Nix, I think sometimes the coordinator helps, and Kenny Dillingham obviously changes scenery, his skill set fit. He was less erratic. He had less plays where it was like, what was Bo Nix doing there? Now he did have some, head scratching interceptions that were part of his story at Auburn, and they happened at Oregon as well, but not nearly as much. I think he was super productive. I think he'll continue to be super productive at Oregon this year, despite losing Kenny Dillingham.
We're talking with Bill Bender from the Sporting News, sportingnews.com, as he has made a list of the top 25 quarterbacks in college football. I want to move up to number 6. You've got Jaden Daniels of LSU, a guy who led LSU to a lot of big wins last year. Got it done, 2,913 yards, 17 touchdowns. 3 interceptions is what stands out to me about Jaden Daniels. The fact and what he was able to do and the teams he was able to beat with LSU.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels had a great year. It really came into his own. The development was obvious. He looked more like the Jaden Daniels of freshman year at Arizona State. Really came a long way from the opener against Florida State, and against Alabama, he at times was the best player on the field. So it's a big reason why expectations are high at LSU this season. When they have the right quarterback, they're very dangerous. And I think Jaden Daniels can continue to build on that and build an NFL future along the way.
Do you think LSU, kind of getting off of quarterbacks for a second, do you think LSU could be a team maybe behind Jaden Daniels that could, possibly win the SEC?
Yeah. I mean, they're feeling that now. They're definitely feeling that they have that ability. I mean, it is talking season in a lot of ways. A lot was made about Brian Kelly saying it felt great to beat Alabama a couple weeks ago, but that's what you're supposed to say in front of your boosters. And, they exceeded expectations last year, and there is a lot of NFL talent on that roster on both sides of the ball. I mean, you got Neighbors at receiver, you got Mason Smith leading that defense, Harold Perkins, plenty of NFL first-round type talent. And so they should feel good about where they're at, even if it's not, taking a run at winning the SEC West. I mean, they did make the SEC championship game last year, so there's no reason why they can't do it again.
Yeah, you're right about that. Another SEC guy you have on the list at 11 is Spencer Rattler from South Carolina. So much talk when he was at Oklahoma. He ends up transferring to South Carolina. They got a couple of really good wins towards the end of the year. What do you like about Spencer Rattler?
Toward the end of the year, he came on. And again, sometimes with transfer quarterbacks, that happens where the first half of the season, it's a little rough, and to be expected. He hasn't been in that system. And then, you look at how he played against Tennessee and Clemson and Notre Dame. You're talking about borderline elite quarterback play with a few mistakes mixed in there. And the fact that he gets his top receiver back, and the early season schedule will be tough again, but Spencer Rattler is a guy that is a 5-star recruit. He's seen everything happen in his career, and he's become a better quarterback for it. So I look for him to continue to do that this year.
You've got Carson Beck of Georgia at number 17, a guy, we saw come in some in Stetson Bennett, of course, the starter for Georgia the last couple of years. What stands out to you about Beck, and is this a guy who's going to be able to lead the offense in the same ways that Stetson Bennett did?
Well, I mean, he's got, obviously they have, good tight ends, good receivers. He had plenty of experience last year and playing some in mop-up duty, played substantial minutes in the college football playoff championship game. So if that continues, I think he should be fine. It's kind of a moderate ranking for him, but I think within the system, he should have success. And if the spring game is any indication how efficient he was in that offense, I look for that to continue.
We're talking college football with Bill Bender of the Sporting News here on Southern Sports Now. And when you look at the top of the list you made, you see several Pac-12 quarterbacks. What do you make of that, of the Pac-12 being a strong quarterback class coming into the year? And is that going to help the Pac-12's chances at maybe a run in the playoff? Are we seeing maybe the caliber of talent on the Pac-12 stronger this year?
I mean, they have the best collection of quarterbacks in the country, which is very interesting when you have 3 in the top 5. And that's not even counting guys that almost made the list, like Shedeur Sanders and Dante Moore, 5-star freshman for UCLA, DJ Uiagalelei, who transferred from Clemson and I think will have more success at Oregon State in some ways. And, it's a deep class. Michael Penix he may have been the first quarterback taken this year, or he might have been in that discussion because of what he's been able to do with Kalen DeBoer's offense. So, yeah, I think they're definitely worth watching, and we'll see. It's a really good loaded group.
Yeah, for sure. And before I let you go, Bill, always got to get your thoughts on your Ohio State Buckeyes. What's the season going to look like for the Buckeyes this year?
I mean, they're going to be good. They've got, you're seeing mock drafts where they have 6 and 7 first-round picks. Guys like Marvin Harrison's obvious, but, I mean, they've got edge rushers on there, Emeka Egbuka. Kyle McCord's filling in at quarterback and steps into some pretty big shoes for C.J. Stroud. But they're going to have more talent than everybody they play, and I think they'll be 11-0 when they go to Ann Arbor. And that's the big question right now. After losing 2 straight years to Michigan, they're going to have to end that, get back to the playoff, and but from a talent perspective, they're in that neighborhood of Georgia and Alabama. There aren't too many rosters that are.
Good stuff from Bill Bender. You can see his work, sportingnews.com with the Sporting News. Bill, always great to talk with you. Appreciate you carving out some time for me this morning, and we'll talk to you again real soon. But thanks for your time today.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me on. Take care.
Thank you. Bill Bender covers college football for the Sporting News. Always brings great content, and all summer long he'll be putting together these lists of the top quarterbacks, top coaches, all that kind of stuff across college football. So we appreciate Bill for making time with us today. We'll jump to a break. Want to dive into some Braves from last night, a little NBA talk ahead, all that coming up. Stay with us on Southern Sports Now. We'll roll into our final segment next.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @EAN_sports, or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
You see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
Ted's Floors and Beyond bring you this segment of Southern Sports Now. And you may be asking, what is the Beyond part? Well, the Beyond part is now that the fact that they offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, and tile showers. They're locally owned and operated, and they have all of your flooring needs as well: hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, and luxury vinyl. Go by and see them. They're on Highway 431 in Anniston. They will help you find what you need. 0% interest financing for 12 months and free in-home estimates. So go by and see the great folks there at Ted's Floors and Beyond, again located right there on Highway 431 in Anniston. Atlanta Braves last night host the Los Angeles Dodgers. A little rain delay in the game, but it was a hot start for the Braves as we roll the highlights here from last night's game. Guess who? Freddie Freeman back in Atlanta for just the second time since he left the club, and started off with a strikeout and a nice start for Charlie Morton in the game last night. As far as offense for the Braves, we've seen them really have no problem getting started in games. They haven't been able to finish great always, but they start really good, and we saw that with leadoff Ronald Acuna putting one against the wall. And then how about this? Another nice hit out there, and that's going to bring Acuna around to score. So Braves take an early lead, and then again it's Rosario, and he's going to put one out of the park. And so the Braves take a quick lead in this game, and you want to get comfortable. And you got a 4-0 lead if you're the Braves, but then before you know it, the Dodgers are sending one out of the park. And just like that, the Dodgers are on the board. And this is where it gets dangerous for the Braves, is pitching in later parts of the game. Freddie with a nice hit right up the middle. And he's able to get a double as he greets RC over there. A lot of these guys, of course, played with Freddie Freeman. And then once again, Braves trying to get a play. Freeman comes in safe, though, and just like that, the Dodgers are right back in it, and it becomes way more of a ball game. This is probably the worst spot in the park that you could have hit a ball. How do you get to the corner easy? There's no way to get there easy, and that's going to bring them around to score. And Freddie Freeman's has hit many out of this park, and he hit another one out last night there at Truist Park. And he ties it up there 4 apiece for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the Braves low in the zone. That's exactly where Freddie Freeman likes to hit it. And the Dodgers take the lead and really don't look back. From there, the Braves are able to tack on a couple of runs, but really in the end, the Dodgers offense just too good. And it's because the Braves bullpen is just not very reliable right now. And again, another deep ball, another ball out for the Dodgers. And that was kind of the story of the night. Not a great start for Los Angeles, but definitely hot at the end. And that's where the Braves have struggled. It's just with the bullpen, guys being reliable to get the job done, to finish. You can start well all you want to, but in the end, it's about how you finish. Bang, bang play at the end. They call him out, and Brian Snitger calls for the replay, and there you see it. It's how the game ended last night. Our umpire comes out after review, says he indeed is out, and the Dodgers take out the Braves 8-6. But I like the start from the Braves offensively. I like Charlie Morton, the way he pitched. Definitely not the best start he's had in the last 3 or 4, but one definitely you can't you can't expect him to be perfect and to have every great start, but definitely a decent start. I really think it was, and so hats off to him. But the bullpen, you got to be able to finish. A.J. Minter just not playing good baseball. He has struggled this season. He was definitely the best out of the bullpen last year for the Braves, but really struggling this year, and that has really hurt the Braves in certain situations, the fact that they can't rely on one of these veteran guys out of the bullpen to get it done. But Braves-Dodgers Game 2 coming up tonight. Spencer Strider will be on the mound, looking for a good start from him once again. And when you've got Morton, Strider, and Elder, like we said yesterday, when you've got those three, the top 3 of your rotation, I think you're in good shape. You just got to figure out that 4 and 5 guy, and the Braves will be good to go. But certainly looking for a good night from Spencer Strider coming up tonight in Game 2. Got to even that series. You don't want to get behind and lose the series. So hopefully the Braves can rebound tonight, get the offense going, and get a win tomorrow night and take the series from the Dodgers. It's definitely a winnable series for the Braves, as the Dodgers not quite as strong. We saw they got some heavy hitters, but especially on the pitching front, not quite as strong as we've seen in years past. But Game 2 of the Braves coming up tonight at 6:20. Spencer Strider on the mound. Miller will be on the mound for the Los Angeles Dodgers. NBA fans, Nuggets got the sweep last night over the Lakers, 4-0. It is Game 4 tonight between the Heat and the Celtics. Will we see another sweep? That is the question. Celtics playing really hot coming in to the Eastern Conference Finals, but it's been Miami rolling, and I think Miami is going to get it done tonight. I think we'll have a Heat-Nuggets NBA Finals and 2 sweeps, which would be very unheard of in the NBA, but could be a really good game tonight. We'll see if the Celtics can get it done, maybe extend the series a little bit, but I like the Heat, the way they're playing. They're playing really hot right now. Before we let you go, wanted to let you know we've talked about the FCA Home Run Derby. It has been postponed because of the weather, the rain, the cool weather coming in. They have decided to postpone the FCA Home Run Derby tonight. We'll give you more details on when they reschedule that for. But again, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes Home Run Derby that was scheduled for tonight at Donahoe has been postponed, and we'll let you know when they decide to make that up. That is all the time we have for you today. Appreciate our guests, Mike Paris. Appreciate Bill Bender for joining us as well. Appreciate you for hanging out with us here on this Tuesday. We will do it again tomorrow from 10 to 11 a.m., and we'll have lots of good college football to get to as Braden Gall from Athlon Sports will join us on the show tomorrow. Hope you make plans to join us then. We will talk to you tomorrow here on Southern Sports Now.